need to come back. Come back, yeah.
Capo's coming off a big win off of Wilson Aquinocho. I saw that fight at the Fountain Blue round 3. What was that fight like? What was your takeaway from that performance?
It was a good fight. First round, I broke him down. Second round, broke him down. And then the third round, he went to the corner and then they stopped the fight. So, I feel like I did good at breaking him down. I feel like I was hurting him to the body. And, he just broke down.
The goal is to fight, what, 4?
Maybe 4 or 5 fights, yeah.
And we're here just not even 3 months later on a big card. Of course, Thurman Fundora coming up this Saturday here at the MGM Grand. What was it like to get that call for that?
It was good, just staying busy. After my last fight, I was ready. I got the call. They said, we got a fight coming up for you. And I just told them, yeah, I'll be in the gym Monday. So, I just stayed busy, and here we are.
So you're going to be facing Julian Gonzalez of a Philadelphia-style fighter, club fighter, maybe 16-1-1, coming off a loss to Jason Sanchez. I think he's worked out here in Las Vegas quite a bit, man. What have you seen of Julian so far?
I know he's a tough opponent. He's coming to try to take me out. So I gotta be ready for anything. I feel like I'm ready. I put in the hard work, and come March 28th, I feel like I'm gonna come out with the win. And yeah, I know I'm gonna come out with that win.
In the main event, I gotta ask you, man. I'm curious. You got at this point, he's a kind of a legend. Thurman's been around a long time. He's approaching his late 30s. A local Las Vegas fighter, Brian Mendoza, he's the one who's cracked that code. The big towering inferno, like David and Goliath, man. But do you think he's got a chance in his late 30s to do the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. Anything can happen in boxing. Takes one punch. And, for sure, I think he got a chance.
So, again, guys, this Saturday, Julian Gonzalez versus Kaipo Gallegos of Las Vegas, 11-0-1. It's going to be exciting on Prime and on the television portion. So, anything else you'd like to say, Kaipo?
Tune in March 28th. Put on a great show. Be there or watch it live. And let's get it. We're going to get that win.
Ballin', like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. Yeah, I'm ballin', like it's game time. Locked in when it's game time. I put in work, couldn't wait for mine. I got 9, couldn't wait in line. Game time, game time. Locked in when it's game time. Shoot from deep like a Curry 3 and 1. I got these like 23.
You need to come back. Come back, yeah. You need to come back. Come back, yeah.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shot. ¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 with the big homie Vince from Slugged Out Sports for a special Wednesday Hump Day edition of Slugged Out Sports. Saludos, Vince. ¿Qué pasa, homie? Oh. Hold on, fellas.
Basketball team.
Oh, snap. Now, I had you muted for a second, but if you want to do that again. You want to do that again?
Hell yeah. What's up, peeps? The good thing is we got a basketball team in Vegas now. I think they should be called the Las Vegas Jokers.
The Jokers. Oh, my God. You're leading off with one of the biggest stories. Yeah, it was announced yesterday. Let me just go ahead and post this. Where is it? I have a statement from the NBA. Wow, it's pretty exciting, right?
I just hope LeBron has nothing to do with it.
LeBron is rumored, but so is Magic. Magic
I
Johnson.
Take Magic's a winner wherever he goes.
Check this out. The NBA Board of Governors today voted, this was March 25th, to authorize the league to formally explore potential team expansion to Las Vegas and Seattle. As part of this process, the NBA has engaged investment bank PJT Partners as a strategic advisor to evaluate prospective markets, ownership groups, arena infrastructure, and the broader economic implications of expansion. Vince, I lost you. If you want to check your camera again real quick. Today's vote reflects our board's interest in exploring potential expansion of Las Vegas and Seattle, two markets with a long history of support for NBA basketball. Indeed, man. And the NBA will provide additional updates as the process progresses. All right, Vince is going to join us again.
Guess who's back?
I just
back
read, man. It's amazing news. Yeah, I guess, guys, I love it. It's kind of official. We are going to beginning a basketball team here. The question is, they said, Vince, 2028. That is exactly the year that we're getting baseball.
It's time for A's baseball.
So how can they build a stadium? Okay, the A's stadium. Let me show you what's going on over here, because I was thinking of driving over to MGM Grand later today, but it's not going to work out for me. But anyways, I was going to pass the old Tropicana site where the stadium is being built, Vince. Yeah. And this is what it looks like today from an aerial view. Yesterday, they posted this online. The stadium's coming along. It's going to be built for 2028-29 season. The only hiccups right now, Vince, is, like they're going to build, Bally's was going to build maybe a little casino with retail shopping and, somewhere to drink and party and all that. That's not moving so quickly. So it looks like the stadium might be built, and then at a later date, you're going to have all the cool stuff surrounding the stadium later on. Maybe it might take an additional year or more. So we could be having baseball, the Las Vegas Athletics, and you said the Las Vegas Jokers. The Jokers.
We can't have the Ace. We can't have the Heat.
How about the High Rollers? The High Rollers.
No, but remember that thing behind Harris, that stupid wheel?
Oh, yeah.
It's called High Roller.
Shout out to Alex Tomlin in the chat. He says, I'm good, guys. Lester Martinez versus Canelo for Canelo's big comeback. Is that too dangerous for Canelo? And is Lester Martinez a beast? I saw that last fight. Boy, that was a very exciting fight because all the people that showed up this Saturday in San Bernardino. Shout out to everybody from the IE, man. I know so many people that live out in the IE, and it's a blue collar community, right? San Bernardino County, a lot of hardworking Latinos that live out there. Who would have thought that this many Guatemaltecos, that's what they call them, right? I had a best friend. Vince, you disappeared again. But I grew up in San Francisco's Mission District, guys, which in the 90s, 80s, 90s was like a melting pot of all the Latino immigrants coming from, first it was all Chicano Mexican, and then we had the Guatemaltecos coming in, we had Hondurans coming in, we had the Nicaraguenses coming in, and of course the El Salvadorian community. We had it all, man. I even had a best friend growing up. That his name was Bruce. Shout out to Bruce. I'm not going to give you his last name, but man, people loved me and him we threw hands so many times. The boy could fight. He ended up becoming a Marine. Vince, I'm just telling in the chat that I had this Guatemalteco best friend when I was a little kid, man. He was my partner in crime through middle school. Boy, that dude loved to fight, man. People wanted to see us fight all the time. We were best friends. I think we got into fist fights at least twice for the enjoyment of other. Like, can you imagine, bro? Just like, everybody's teasing you. Come on, you guys should fight. Okay. Then you're just like fist fighting your best friend. But that many Guatemaltecos out of San Bernardino filled up and sold out the Pro Box card, and it was a good show. Excuse my phone. It was a good show. Something terrible happened though, and there is some good news to report. If you guys saw the entire card, or if you saw, there is a potential new star out there. Her name is Camarillo, I believe, but she knocked out this girl. She knocked out the girl pretty quickly, right? And that girl had just recently her name is Isis Seal. She was only 19 years old. She had gotten knocked out in her last fight, but I believe the last fight she was knocked out via body shot knockout. Well, she didn't last very long against Camarillo, and she had to be taken to the hospital for, whatever was happening, brain bleed. I don't know if it was a brain bleed, mild, but she fell into a coma, Vince.
Yeah, no, it's sad. That's what sucks about boxing. That's why you never boo a boxer when they fight. You never make fun of a boxer when they fight, because you know what's going to happen to them. What if that was your kid and someone's making booing or laughing at him? You're going to be pissed off. That's why they say you don't play boxing.
You don't. You don't. Hey, shout out to Bella Bling for sending us 80 jewels. I appreciate that, Bella Bling. Speaking of speaking of, you said don't play boxing. Listen, guys, Vince and I went to the gym this past Friday to talk to Kaipo Gallegos. Shout out to Jason at Las Vegas Fight Club. And who comes in but former featherweight champion Kevin Kelly. And like, my memory wasn't so good about all his amazing fights, man, but he was like an HBO featherweight, one of the very first HBO stars. He fought Prince Nassim at the Garden, bro. Like, that's like,
Yeah.
They exchanged knockdowns 4 times before Kevin couldn't get up for one of his knockdowns. That's like, but he also fought Barreras and Morales. Yeah. And dude, that interview should have thousands of views. That I put on both of our pages. Go watch it, because we didn't even spend 5 minutes talking to him before he got into the "you don't play boxing," which you just said, Vince. Because I asked him about influencer boxing. I said, listen to the interview, guys. I said, more people were watching Blueface fight last week. I think it was last week. Then we're watching real boxing, and it's like, how do you feel about influencer boxing? And he said it in that interview, man. He said that at some point he thinks someone's going to get seriously hurt, because these aren't pros, right? They're not pros. They don't dedicate, exception of maybe of Jake Paul, who's dedicated his life now for the past 4 years to the sport of boxing. But most of these guys, influencer boxing, they're taking it up for their first training camp or second training camp. Somebody's going to get hurt. Just like this poor girl, she falls into a coma, ISIS-CO, and yesterday or early this morning, I can't remember, she's out of the hospital, bro. Thank
God, man.
Oh man, I don't know. She's out of a coma. I don't know if she's going to want to keep fighting. She's 19 years old, but this is pretty serious wake-up call.
I wonder if the WPC is going to pay for that bill. Because the money that they're ripping off all these fighters for, they say they help the fighters out. She's going to need help for that bill. That bill ain't going to be cheap, so I wonder if they're going to help her.
That's a great point. Especially considering today we have some epic news regarding that Muhammad. I also talked to Kevin Keeley, asked him, about his thoughts on the reform of the Muhammad Ali Reform Act, which passed Congress yesterday officially, and all the changes that's going to bring to the sport of boxing. Some of those changes are going to be regarding health insurance and hospitalization. So there's a lot to unpack there once it becomes officially law and Donald Trump signs it. A lot to unpack. But Vince, did you catch Lester Martinez's performance, man? Because those, I was watching it live on YouTube, and I could not believe how excited that crowd was. Like, those Guatemaltecos, man, they were like waiting for their first champion ever, and now they have a champ. They have their very own first champ. Dude, they were nuts.
they should.
It was a good crowd. It was a very good crowd. I think personally, what the guy he fought, I think what was his last name, Aleem? Hopefully I didn't butcher his name. The guy came to fight, and he was very durable, bro. And at one point, it looked like he even hurt Lester himself. Even though the scorecards didn't show it was a competitive fight, it was a fun fight, but it wasn't Lester's best performance, in my opinion. Vince, you saw that fight with Christian and Billy. Your nephew was the co-main event, and they came on after Christian and Billy and Lester Martinez. That fight was insane. Did you think that
fight of the year?
Yeah, that was a fight of the year, man. But being in those kind of tough fights, I always feel like sometimes they take something out of really good fighters. So I didn't think this was the best Lester Martinez performance. I feel like maybe that fight with Christian and Billy took a little bit out of him, a little bit of steam out of him. A win is a win. It was a good win. Lots of people went crazy. He's now an interim champion. Christian and Billy, I think, is going to be I think Christian and Billy got one of the real titles. But that brings us to, and I'm going to get to your question in a second, Alex. The other fight of Saturday was Carlos Adames on DAZN, bro. And I've seen it. The guy he fought, Ammo Williams. I've seen Ammo Williams here in Vegas fight. Ammo is a solid fighter. He's like a C+, B- type fighter. He's talented, but he seems to be the guy who's always going to come up short when it comes to an opportunity to be a world champion.
That sucks.
He's good, bro, but like it's going to be very difficult for him to ever achieve world champion status. Carlos Adames is a beast. Let me just remind you guys, Carlos Adames beat Turki Al-Ashik's favorite contender in Shiraz. He kind of surprised Shiraz, and Shiraz beat up Berlanga. Anyways, Shiraz now moved up to 168. Carlos Adames.
Anyways, Belanga. Who? Belanga who? You said it right. He's a C or D rated fighter, Belanga.
He's going to get the big. He's also in the news, man. But anyhow, Carlos Adames, who works out in Las Vegas with the Cuban coach Ismael Salas.
Yeah.
And he just announced that he's done with the 160-pound division. You know, it seems like he could not get that guy Janabek to sign up for the fight. Janabek ended up just recently getting stripped of that title. So now you got a vacant title. He could try to unify it, man. But all the big money, all the guys with people's names that we know now, Lester Martinez, Christian and Billy, Jaime Munguia, Edgar Berlanga, Shiraz, all these good names are now at super middleweight, including Canelo Alvarez.
And what about the white boy that fought Canelo?
Which one?
He's from Vegas.
Oh, Caleb Plant. And Caleb Plant.
He's awesome, man.
He's looking to make his return.
I hope so.
Yeah, and Alex was asking us if Lester Martinez is too dangerous of a fight for Canelo. You know, I think Canelo's definitely on the back nine of his career, Vince. Obviously, he's not the same fighter.
Yeah, I'll just do the blueprint's out there, just box him.
But I'm not sure Lester Martinez beats him in his very next fight. Even with that said, man, I'm not sure if Lester's learned enough to beat
You're going to outbox
Canelo.
him, but they'll do it like when Canelo fought the Cuban. Who's the Cuban Canelo fought? Back in the day.
Lara.
Yeah. Somebody like that. Like, Lara really beat him. But, you know, there's no money in Lara, so they gave it to Canelo.
So the thing is, a lot of you guys that still love Canelo, you know that those fighters that come to Canelo, they usually fall into his traps. And Canelo really, he does good against fighters that come forward, aggressive fighters. He doesn't like guys that can counter punch and box, like, Terrence Crawford outboxed him. He don't like those kind of fights. So I think maybe Lester Martinez, now that he's an interim champ, there's a lot of good fights for him, including, you mentioned Caleb Plant. Yeah. Other fighters in the division, Jaime Munguia would be an exciting fight. One of the Charlos is supposed to be at 168. I think there's plenty of people for him to fight. But I think a lot of people are already saying, hey, we want to see a rematch of Lester Martinez and Christian and Billy for whatever titles. There's an interim title, there's a real title. And people want to see Carlos Adames fight Shiraz again. Because Carlos Adames looked like an animal again. And again, back-to-back incredible performances by Carlos Adames. Now he's moving up to that super middleweight division. All eyes are on that division.
Yes.
It's a good division. Then, so you got Carlos Adames leaving 160. Then you have that guy Janabek. They took his IBF title, got taken away. A young fighter, we met with Kaipo this weekend. Kaipo reminds me a lot of another fighter that I've come across that I think I really like his personality for fighting, because they're both very focused, kind of introverted, quiet, but just brutal athletes in the ring. And I'm talking about Jesus Ramos Jr. of Arizona. He has an interim title now at middleweight. He just beat Sugar Shane Mosley's son. Yeah. So that everybody's leaving 160. Jesus saw that opportunity and left 154. 154 is, the division we're going to see Fundora and Thurman in. He moved up to 160 and it benefited him. Now it's like, now he could take over that division. So like, there's a lot of room for people. There's a lot of fighters at 154 now that I would say, y'all better think about moving up to middleweight. Virgil Ortiz would make a great, it could be time for him to move up to middleweight. Oh, man. Should we talk about Virgil Ortiz? Let's bring it up. Oscar De La Hoya. It is? Yeah. Is it? Happy birthday to Virgil Ortiz. Big news came across our desk. Obviously, last week it was predicted. It was kind of leaked, but now it became official. But Golden Boy Boxing, Oscar De La Hoya, he signed a deal with DAZN to make it official for a 2-year extension. and it's non-exclusive. They say that if he wants to work with PBC or to send his fighters to somewhere else, he can. So
That's awesome.
These are all the fighters that were included in the promotional poster by Oscar De La Hoya and DAZN. Ryan Garcia at the very bottom. You got that young champion Ricardo. You have Gabriela. You have Zurdo. You have Colazo, Puerto Rican champion. I don't see Virgil Ortiz. I'll show you. One more time. Virgil Ortiz is not here, bro. Damn. Where was Virgil Ortiz in that poster?
He probably hurt himself on the way to take the picture.
Oscar said, like 2 weeks ago, Oscar had that fight, and he told people in the ring that he would never work with Virgil's manager again. But it kind of sounded like he was saying he was never going to work with Virgil again. He's got him under contract.
Yeah.
Could he really be that cold?
Manager? Well, the manager going to come up with some money to buy him out of that contract. You want to be a manager, you got to manage.
That's messy, bro. They have until, I think, the end of this summer to arbitrate. That means we're barely in March.
Can you win?
Can you imagine, like, not fighting all this whole year up until September? Like, September, essentially, to announce a fight date for Virgil? He's just wasting.
No money coming in.
He's going to be 30 years old.
Yeah.
Never been a world champ. This kind of feels like the whole Mikey Garcia problem he had with Top Rank, where he was out of the ring for 2 years in the prime of his career.
Yeah.
It sounds messy, man. I really hope that Virgil Ortiz and his team can come to an agreement with Oscar, because
I hope so, man.
Dude, we got a big fight weekend this weekend. Virgil, you should have been Virgil in that ring this weekend with Thurman, with Fundora, but instead we got 37-year-old Thurman in the ring. Damn.
Yep. One time.
So speaking of at the MGM Grand at 3:00, they're gonna have a podcast. They're usually Wednesday of fight week. Where's the fight week events? You sent it to me.
MGM.
Yeah, usually
by the sports book.
Right by the sports book, by Taps, the Taps restaurant. On that side of the casino, they usually set up the ring and they do open workouts. Mm-hmm. And I used to go to all of those ones. I'd have fun. I try to live stream them and whatnot, Vince. But it seems that more and more people, or less and less people, are showing up to those events, right? So,
man, I went to one. I don't like going to those things. They're boring.
They're boring to you?
Yeah. I want to go catch them at the gym and work out at the gym.
Yeah, that's really cool. Actually, it's much different. I hope you guys enjoyed that, the stuff that Vince and I put together this week with Kaipo Gallegos, Las Vegas Fight Club. It's really a lot more fun actually watching them in their own element, where they train, talking with them, their trainers. So they're not doing it. They're not going to do it today. They're not going to have an open workout. You can't watch them work out. Instead, at what says here, 4 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Oh, it moved up to 4. Everything got moved up. They're going to do a podcast with Cameron, who was a rapper. He now has a sports show. And Sean Zattel of PBC. Sean Zattel is a local Las Vegas reporter who reports on the Raiders. He does PBC. He's a very well known and respected, commentator too. He does that thing with Sean Porter. He has a podcast with Sean Porter, Porter's Way. Anyway, they're going to just sit down and do a podcast, and I guess they're going to have, they're going to have separate interviews with Fundora on stage. They're going to set up a stage, and they're going to have Thurman come up and do interview too. So I don't know. If I get home in time, I got to run a bunch of errands, but I'm going to watch it and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they got the press conference.
Yes.
Okay, Kaipo's going to be at that too. They're all going to get a chance to, stare down their appointment. And then, of course, Friday is the weigh-in. And I'm not sure if that's public, man. But how many people are actually excited to see Thurman? Cut. There's no editing in live. Thurman. I just made up a new fighter. How many people were excited to see Thurman? Yeah, I took a few blows to the head. Fundora versus Thurman. Who's actually excited?
Hey, I'm gonna find out for sure today if we in.
There are.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like once my son wakes up, I'm gonna call the guy.
What was I gonna tell you, man? It's pay-per-view. Unfortunately, people don't get too excited when they have to come out of pocket. Already, a lot of people say they're gonna subscribe to DAZN again because now they have all official. They have all those promoters.
Fights. That's awesome.
They don't have Al Heyman, man. They don't have Al Heyman and the PBC over at DAZN yet. They're still with this Amazon deal. Whether or not it's going to continue to be a success or not, it would be nice to have them all under one banner, man, where you just pay for one thing.
It'd be like HBO and Showtime. All the fighters are under them.
It'd be like the good old days where you just pay for cable and you get to watch Showtime and HBO boxing.
The good old days. Where kids are playing outside in the street, flying kites up outside. Now they're in the house. Mom, my internet went out. Complaining about the internet. And think, jeez, sucks.
But I got to ask you then, you see the height difference. Thurman's 37 plus years old. Do you think he can catch him on a bad night, man? Could he catch Fundora on a bad night?
Everybody got a chance in boxing. Everybody got a chance. Keith's got power, but so does Homeboy. It just see who gets caught, I guess. Because the big giant got dropped. We know he get dropped. And did Thurman get dropped, or his glove touched the ground? I think.
He's always had a good chin. Thurman's always had a good chin. It's just crazy how long he's been fighting at this point.
He ran out of that Pacquiao money.
Yep. Alex says, I'd like to see Thurman versus Canelo. Maybe both are at the crossroads of their career. I wonder at what weight class they could fight, man. Because Canelo's way up there.
Canelo can't come down. He can't come down in weight.
Yeah, he's really up there. But, I mean, that would be an interesting fight. That definitely would be interesting if Thurman can climb that much.
I don't think there's no money there for Canelo.
Unless Thurman, if Thurman has the performance of his lifetime and knocks out the Towering Inferno, and then he decides I'll go up 2 weight classes or 2 weight classes, like Terrence Bud Crawford did.
Thurman got the mouth to get the fight. He could talk.
Yeah.
He's real good at that talking.
Timber Johnson Island says body shot KO Timber. So he thinks that he may chop down the Towering Inferno.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, you got to break him down to the body. Absolutely.
But you got to get in there, man. Because what if he does like Klitschko, just jab and jab and jab and bam, jab and jab and jab and bam. You keep coming in that right hand.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting in what the approach is going to be. Let me just see what the odds are really quickly. I'm going to go to DraftKings.com and see what the odds are.
And what else comes on today at 5:00?
What's that?
The New York Yankees versus the San Francisco Giants on Netflix.
That's today, bro.
First game one. And then tomorrow, who plays tomorrow? The big dogs in the Major League Baseball.
Yamamoto. I know we're going to get to baseball in just a second. Let me look at these odds real quick. Elijah Garcia is going to he's a nice kid, man. I met his family before. They're really family orientated. The whole family travels. Elijah's a -370 favorite. You have Yoeli Hernandez, the Cuban. Yoeli Hernandez trains with Canelo. You guys have been talking about Canelo in the chat. He's a -1400 favorite against Terrell Gashaw. That dude Terrell's been in a lot of hard fights, and unfortunately, he's going to see why this Cuban monster, Yoeli Hernandez, is so good at middleweight. He's a very dangerous middleweight. I will not be surprised if Terrell gets stopped in this fight against the Cuban Yoeli Hernandez. Yoeli was part of Canelo's training camp in preparations for Terrence Bud Crawford. Who else do we have? We have Brian Mendoza from Las Vegas, the guy who actually knocked out. He's a great kid. Good friends with. He's good friends with Mario Barrios. He's a +250 underdog. That's actually not that bad. And -330 for Yoeli Telez. Bro, if Brian Mendoza has a good night, I think he could win this fight. But he's going to have a great night. He's coming off some pretty serious beatdowns from Bohacek in March. Yeah, I think it was the same night that Fundora won his title, Brian Mendoza. He took a beating from Bohacek. And sometimes, man, you just never bounce back from those type of fights. But anyways, in the main event, Sebastian Fundora is a -380 favorite. Wow, that's That's not too wide. Plus 280 for Keith Thurman. I would think it'd be a lot wider than that. A lot wider than that.
They're giving Thurman a chance.
Sorry about my notifications, guys. I usually don't go live right now, so it's like I didn't even turn off my notifications on my phone. Yeah, we're gonna get to baseball, but did you see any of the flag football?
Yeah, Jake Paul did pretty good.
Was it Jake Paul or his brother? His brother.
Or
it was the other
brother.
Paul. It was
Paul.
Logan Paul, right?
Yeah, he did pretty good. Not bad.
And they had been trash talking with the great quarterback. Remember, Tom Brady and him had been gotten into a lot of beef, a lot of talking before this event. It looked like they wanted to fight each other. There was a lot of trolling going back and forth. But the gist of it is that the official USA flag football team beat the NFL teams twice.
Boy, it whooped them. Bad.
And you had some people like the celebrity influencers like I Show Speed that looked really impressive as an athlete. But here's the thing. They're not tackling you guys. So basically, if you're very agile and very fast, you could probably be a very good flag football player. These NFL players are used to hitting you. But they're over here struggling.
Or stop and go running.
Yeah.
Because when Speed was guarding him, they were eating him alive. Because all Speed can do is run straight. He can't stop, go, stop, go, stop, go.
Right.
He just runs straight. That's all he can do is run straight.
And also the NFL players have a real hard time actually coordinating themselves to grab that stupid flag. You know, they're used to actually grabbing the bodies. So you got a lot of people this week talking about could these guys from flag football or even celebrities like I Show Speed be NFL players? And the answer to that is what?
Hell no. Hell no. They're playing flag football for a reason. You know?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Alex reminds me, I wanted to mention this. If the IBF didn't strip the Australian, he could fight Lester Martinez, but the Australian went to Zuffa. The IBF stripped Jai Opetaia. It's official. Jai Opetaia, I had it here. Where is it?
But it's weird. Why they strip him and then never strip Canelo?
They never stripped. Oh, no, they did. The IBF did strip Canelo at one point. Remember? They gave
they got to do it all the time.
The IBF strips people all the time, man. They've even stripped Alexander Usyk when he was undisputed. Anyhow, regarding that, I'm looking for the picture of that, but he's going to sue. And he not only are his attorneys, but it looks like Zuffa's attorneys are also going to sue the IBF because, well, quite honestly, they felt that they paid all of the fees and dues that were required of them. They met the obligation to fight a guy who was in the top 15. And they didn't understand why it just wasn't sanctioned and made official. So they're headed to a lawsuit. So, Vince, at the end of the day with Zuffa, eventually, like we said, we put it in the title that the Muhammad Ali Reform Act passed the House of Congress. Now it's going to go to the Senate. And if the Senate approves it in the next couple of weeks, then they'll send it to Donald Trump to sign. Donald Trump and Dana White are like this, you know, they're homeboys.
But our buddies.
They're homeboys. It's going to pass. So at the end of the day, the Zuffa belt is going to be a real belt because that's what's part of the Reform Act is to make the Zuffa belt a genuine belt. Like it does not have to be with those 4 sanctioning bodies. Zuffa will be able to do everything in-house. Their own ranking system, their own titles.
Man, I hope Trump says
Bro, I'm
no.
not going to, I'm not going to say anything about who told us something, but we heard a little something that was shocking. And we had a fighter. We had the young Floyd Diaz on here. Yeah. Go back and watch our interview, guys, if you're interested in what it's like for a young fighter to sign with Zuffa, because he's all on board with his decision. He thinks it was the right choice for him. And for some fighters, it's absolutely going to be the right choice. Yeah. But for other fighters, it may not be because this weekend, I'm not going to say who told us, but, somebody that was interested or they were interested in signing this fighter, they basically told the fighter that you would have to get rid of your management.
That's crazy, man.
Bro, like you go so far with your manager who got you into professional boxing and then they tell you, nope, can't have your own management represent you.
I know one person ain't going over there, Virgil. Oh, shoot. Good old Virgil.
Yeah, even my wife was tripping. I told my wife the story, and she was listening to this thing with Paulie Malignaggi earlier with me. And she's like, damn, so if you go to Zuffa, you can't choose your own clothes. It's like they have a dress code with the uniforms. You can't have your own representation. I'm like, you know what? It's like getting a real job. It's like getting a real job. They tell you what to wear. They tell you what time to show up. They tell you, how you can look in the ring. I mean,
That's crazy.
And because it's not like if you went and got a real job that you would go to the interview with human resources and they go, well, who's that sitting next to you? And you go, oh, that's my manager. Yes, my manager.
That's my pimp. They're like a pimp.
Yeah, I have to discuss whether or not I want this job with you. Let me discuss with him. But that's the way it is, or it's supposed to be. But anyways, it won't matter once that thing becomes law. They reform the Zuffa belt will be a genuine, legitimate belt. And in case you didn't know, Zuffa signed 2 fighters this week. You probably don't like him, but Carlos. Another wrong name today. Edgar Berlanga. Who's Carlos? Edgar Berlanga, bro. $10 million.
They signed him?
That's the rumors. That's almost official, man.
Good for him, because he don't want to fight the big dogs. He don't want to fight the big dogs. No, he can buy real jewelry. Good for him.
So the deal, $10 million will get you. Edgar Berlanga will most likely be the very first super middleweight Zuffa champion of the world. Now he couldn't win He couldn't win the real titles. We could the other titles
for him in New York.
It will be
with the Zuffa belt. Yeah.
He's going to be the first Zuffa belt, and it's going to cost Dana White $10 million reportedly. Yeah. They did sign a really interesting fighter, a 140-pound fighter, Brandon Lee, who used to fight on PBC.
I can't believe he signed. I cannot believe that. That's a good one.
He's been out of the ring for like 2 years. Sometimes guys that were fighting on PBC and Showtime, they didn't have an exclusive deal with PBC. So I think he fell into that situation, kind of like Boots Ennis. He didn't have
a lot of PBC fighters get put up on the shelf.
That's what happened to him. Yeah, he was undefeated, and he wasn't getting fights where they were like improving him. He was getting fights like that kind of exposed him a little bit. He just wasn't getting the fights that were improving him as a fighter. And then eventually, like you said, Vince, I think he got put on the shelf. And he's like, man, I'm not done with boxing. I'm undefeated. If Zuffa's my ticket, Zuffa's my ticket. So,
man, I remember him as an amateur.
Yeah, Brandon Lee was a good amateur in California. He probably spent a lot of time out here in Vegas, right?
Yeah, a lot of sparring out here.
Yep. But I look forward to seeing him. It would be very interesting because they signed El Rayo Valenzuela. They signed Rayo Valenzuela at 140 pounds. He beat Pitbull Cruz. I think he's going to be the first champion at Zuffa for the 140-pound division. But it'll be interesting if Brandon Lee and him fight for that title because, again, it's vacant.
But you don't think sucks about Zuffa?
They're all vacant, right? All those titles are vacant.
Don't think sucks about that. Like, if you're a boxer, then you signed Zuffa. When you were boxing, you had dreams of being like the WBC, the WBO champ. You had dreams of that. And now you sign with it, you can never... It ain't gonna happen unless you go back.
Yeah, it might be. See, this is where I think where the perfect scenario for someone joining Zuffa is a prospect that has like something between like 7 and 15 fights, and you sign a deal with Zuffa for 2 years. Maybe it's a 2 or 3 year deal, and you're gonna fight maybe 10 times. That would put your record in like 25-0 if you're lucky. And then you can leave, and then everybody will know your name because if Zuffa turns out to be a good thing, if Zuffa really becomes a success Dana White wants it to be, everyone's going to be like, oh, I seen you fight, man. I seen you fight on that Zuffa stuff on Paramount. I seen you fight. I know who you are. And then you take that success and you try your luck out with the Matchroom and Top Rank or Golden Boy, and you try your luck on the open market.
You know what I think Zuffa should do? Instead of fighting on Sundays, they should fight on Fridays. Bring back Friday night fights.
It might be a good idea because
that'd be great.
They want to have the MMA on Saturday.
I ain't watching no boxing on Sunday.
What about when NFL starts, man? It's going to be tough. Boxing or Sunday Night Football.
That's an easy one. Who's going to pick boxing? Come on, man. I'm even going to watch that XFL. Because I like because they be hitting in there. They don't do like NFL, like, oh, they hit your ass.
Yep, I'll give you guys an easy one, an easy decision for tonight if you're looking for something to do tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific. From San Francisco, opening night of baseball, the Yankees versus the SF Giants at 5 p.m. A first of its kind on Netflix.
Netflix, hell yeah. Hey, if your team wins, they're in first place.
That's right. We'll be ahead of you for one day. That'll be hilarious. Actually, I'm so glad you brought that up because this is wild, Vince. I can't believe I saw this. Somebody, if anybody can fact check this, if you're listening out there and you want to correct me.
Alex, look it up, Alex.
Look it up, Alex.
Alex is the man, dude.
Supposedly, I don't know, this was in my feed today, my social media feed today. The San Francisco Giants and the LA Dodgers are tied. 1,288 wins.
That's true.
1,288 losses. And 17 draws. I don't even remember last time I saw a tie in baseball, but I guess they both have 70. How could this be possible on opening day of Netflix?
Crazy,
So Vince, if my team wins today, oh no, wait a minute. This is their record amongst each other head to head, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, damn, they played man. How many times we play each other? 12 times in a year?
That's their career, 1,288.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I always love hearing about this, man. But yesterday, shout out to Ohtani, man. I saw what he did. 11 strikeouts in the last, preseason game. 11 strikeouts, man. He looks like he's going to be pitching phenomenally this year. He is currently the highest paid, $127 million, according to Forbes magazine. Man, $127 million.
Ain't a lot of that for sponsorship?
Yeah, I mean, however he makes his money. These are the top paid baseball. It's not highest paid. It's highest paid MLB athletes in the world. 127 million, according to.
Look at Corey Bellinger. That's crazy.
But I think he deserves it. I mean, especially if he could win a Cy Young this year.
And all the people he brings in there, and all the sponsors he brings in there from overseas.
Yeah. So tomorrow, I got your Dodger news, man. You guys got Yamamoto on the mound tomorrow. That'll be a very good opening day. And I thought this was interesting, Vince. They're showing some of the things. One thing I saw, bro, that was very upsetting, because I'm Chicano, but they were saying that the Dodger fans, according to all the stadiums in the U.S., the Dodger fans are the most out of shape fans. That's an insult. Hey. And then it became racial. Right. It became racist, bro, because they started going after Latinos and Mexican American fans and Mexican fans. I'm like, come on.
We got one of the best foods in the world.
So let's talk about stadium food. Let's talk about stadium food because you guys announced a brand new drink. Oh man, this I could think of so many people that love this stuff. But this is a new drink that's being offered. Look at it. It's like a mini. It looks like a mini. What do you call those? Gatorade.
Yeah, the Gatorade cakes.
The watermelon margarita is coming to Dodger Stadium. It's official. This will be one of their with tahini.
I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna have to go to the game just to get one
with tahini.
I'm gonna just put water in it, water and ice and tahini.
That looks good, bro. It looks a lot better than. And where is this picture, man? Because this really.
How much do you think that's gonna cost? $30, $35, $40?
Hey, that's a great question. What it's going to cost? I don't see a price tag on that.
I'm gonna say $40.
Let's see if this shows. It does
show.
A
tall can's $20.
So here we go. If you're going to the San Francisco Giants, if you're going to the stadium in San Francisco, this is trending on social media because people are upset at how expensive this is. Would you pay $55 for this box? It's called the 9 beer, 9 hot dog challenge. It's $55. You're going to get 9.
If I drank, like back in my day when I drank, hell yeah, let's do it.
So here's the reason. Here's why people are mad. Vince, this is why people are mad. You get 9 weenies, but you get 1 beer. So where's the 9 beers?
You finish that beer, do you get you get another beer?
Yeah. No, you get 1 beer with 9.
1 beer, 1 dog.
You see the little glasses there. You see the little giant. You get to keep the little Giants glasses. That might be why it's $55. But you only get 1 beer, and what people were really upset about, and I agree with you. They say that beer will only fill up about 4 of those little glasses. The whole $55.
Hey, you only live once.
So who's got better food? I've never been to Dodger Stadium. Who's got the better food, guys? They
put a new menu up this year. They always switch it up.
Damn.
They had sushi over there because they got Ohtani and all those guys over there, so they're catering to them.
But I gotta admit, man, I want one of these watermelon souvenir cups. If it had my team on it, I'd want one. But no, you guys beat us to us. You guys have the watermelon margarita for sale beginning tomorrow.
Guys will copy because you guys got Tupac as a bobblehead now. We got Cube, so you guys will copy us. It may be something else, but you guys will copy.
Hey,
you want to be the best, you got to act like the best, you know?
Indeed, it's going to be a great season. I'm excited. You guys got Yamamoto on the mound. On the mound tomorrow. I'm not sure when does Ohtani take.
I think
he just pitched yesterday.
I think he's the fourth one. I think he's the fourth pitcher.
Where's the and here's the opening games, guys. Opening season starts today. San Francisco Giants versus the Yankees at 5 p.m. And you guys are playing the Braves for 3 games.
Who is?
Right? You guys playing? LA's playing Atlanta tomorrow, Thursday, 3/26.
No, we got the Diamondbacks.
My bad. Oh my God, I can't even recognize Arizona Diamondbacks.
It don't matter who we got. They're just gonna get beat up. They're coming to the house. And they're gonna hear the trumpets. They're gonna hear the trumpets.
That's gonna
Hell
be
yeah,
great.
I'm excited. We got a saver now. Hell yeah. We lost 27 games with our sorry savers. We ain't losing 27 saves this year. Nope. Maybe 5. I'm going 5 or 6. And hopefully he don't get injured either.
Yeah, I got a little. We got a little bit of time. We're gonna go till 2:30, guys. Vince, you know Evel Knievel? You ever a fan of Evel Knievel?
Heck yeah. Every little kid was. You know.
I know. I thought you were, man. The I visited the Harley Davidson store, the one on Rainbow. It's huge.
Rainbow?
They have a bunch of stuff. Hold on. They got a bunch of memorabilia of Evel Knievel. And I seen this today. This guy beat a world record here. Look at this drop, man. He's going to skateboard. This happened in Brazil.
That's nuts.
He hit 64 miles per hour on a 250-foot drop. Look at this. This is insanity, man. Look at this stadium. What is this? A ramp off of a high rise?
I don't know, man. That boy's crazy.
And this was brought to you by Red Bull. They had competitions. You could see that they had different different off ramps, right? Yeah, you see that.
The side?
Dude, I think if he fell off that skateboard, it would have been a death sentence. There's no way.
Yeah, he's nuts, man. That's like doing off the Grand Canyon or the Hoover Dam. He's nuts.
Here we go.
Imagine that was your son.
Does he have a parachute?
And man, I'll be so scared just being there live watching it. I hope they show it to the camera on his helmet. Oh, here it goes. Go, dude.
Whoa.
That's nuts.
He made it look easy. That's a whole building.
I've been throwing up right there.
Wow, man. Made that look easy. Hey, what's good, Paul? Good to see you, man. It's been a minute. Paul, I'll tell Paul directly, man. So Paul and me know about this one Las Vegas content creator, Vince. And I've been very upset about this, but he's been wearing a San Francisco. Somebody gave him, you remember how Manny, people would give Manny gifts, and he'd say, I'll wear whatever you send me. So there's this new guy, and he's pretty.
Sent me the picture.
He's pretty gross, and he's been wearing a San Francisco 49ers hat for like the past few weeks. And I really just want to snatch it off his head. And it's even worse now, Vince, because somebody has gifted him an LA Dodgers hat now.
Hell no.
And so you might catch him. You might catch him one day wearing the Niners, and you might catch him wearing the Dodgers the next day. And anybody knows that no right person in their right mind would ever wear Niners one day and Dodgers the next.
No.
We got to get these. Stop sending him gifts. Stop sending him baseball gear.
Take this post I put up.
You cannot be a Dodger fan and root for a San Francisco team. Exactly. What are people thinking? What are people thinking?
And I tell them, if you're a 49 fan, cool. If you want to be a Dodger fan, we don't want you. No. Stick with the Giants, Padres, I don't care, but just we don't want you. We don't need you. Hell no, because you're only yelling, beat LA, beat LA. Now you're rooting for LA? Come on, man. Be for reals.
Yeah. Hey,
No.
if you're a fan of this unsaid content creator, just send him a Golden Knights hat. I know he likes that's fair game right there, man. Let him wear Golden Knights.
Send him a Padre hat. He's a loser anyway. Send him a Padre hat.
A Padre.
Yep.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends that are Padres fans, man. They're pretty. I like Padres fans are pretty good people,
all they got is a stadium and a good area. That's all they got. They horrible. And Jimmy Johnson. That's all they got. And a new soccer team out there. They're horrible and everything. They're to retire.
We're gonna have Paul. If you're still listening, Paul, it's unbelievable, but it's official. Las Vegas and Seattle are gonna get their own NBA expansion teams. Las Vegas is now gonna have. Las Vegas is going to have women's NBA. They're going to have real NBA team. We're going to have hockey. We're going to have NBA, obviously, baseball, the Athletics, and of course the Raiders is going to be like the ultimate sports town. And which leads me to this really quickly, man. Some NFL news, but Vince, they're talking about that they're going to announce where the next Super Bowl may be. And it looks like Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, is going to get the Super Bowl again very quickly.
3 years, I think.
Yeah. I think it's pretty amazing that we're going to know pretty quickly if we're going to get that Super Bowl again. And I'm seeing a lot of people go, hey, it's a great town to come to and party for Super Bowl. We're ready for it.
We got all the rooms for you guys to come down here, and we got all the food for you guys. We got it all.
Paul says he misses the old Supersonics, and that brings a great question up, man. Will they be named the Supersonics again? Who was they had KD, didn't they?
Sean Kemp.
They had a lot of good players.
The Rain Man, the Glove.
Yeah, can't believe they lost him.
Sam Perkins, man, that was the squad back in the day.
Yeah,
you couldn't get past my Lakers, but that's another story. Back in those days, we were the show. We were the top of the food chain.
Indeed, man. So that's coming up. This is unrelated to everything, but we're covering a lot of sports news. And Tiger Woods is now, I can't believe he's only 50. Is he really 50? Anybody know how old he really is? But people were going nuts. People were going nuts for a little while. He had these back surgeries, bro, and he really wasn't playing good golf anymore. He had a lot of serious spinal back injuries. And now he's yoked out of his mind, dude. He looks like he's an NFL player, bro. He's 50 years old or 50 plus.
Steroids
and people are upset. Now they're saying he's on testosterone, which a lot of guys are going to try testosterone after they're in their 50s, especially a former athlete.
What about stem cells?
That's good for you, man. If you could afford, the thing with stem cells,
he could afford it.
He could afford it, and he probably had it because a lot of the great quarterbacks like Manning, he had a lot. He went to Europe to do stem cell therapy in his neck, and he came back to the NFL. They told him he would never play quarterback in the NFL again. He did stem cells in Europe, and he came back to the sport. Now, he's going to be playing in the next PGA tournament, Tiger Woods. He's 50 plus. But, as a boxing fan, we know you can't be on steroids. You can't be on testosterone and compete in boxing. But should it be okay in golf?
To me, it's like baseball. You're not going to hit the ball farther. It's just hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, I mean,
he hits the ball far anyways.
Like, does it make a difference if you can drive the ball an extra 20, 30 feet? Not really.
You got these graphite clubs.
Yeah, you got all kinds of stuff. Golf is a different game, right? So it don't seem like, there's people upset about how buff he is on testosterone, but I don't know if it's going to make him a better player.
A private guy to teach him to work out and everything. How do we know he didn't do that? People always assume the worst, and he could be doing the best because I don't think he wants to do that because his son will follow his footsteps. That's my opinion.
It's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that.
I think it's just pumping out and he's staying in the gym and just doing his thing. Now that he's buff, they're like, "Oh my God, he's Hulk Hogan."
Is golf a sport? Is golf a sport that needs testing? Does golf require testing?
If he wins, yes, they're gonna say yes. But I don't think so.
So I remember that guy Lance, who was a cyclist, a very famous cyclist. Yeah, and they didn't ever test back in the day. Originally, they didn't test for cycling, because the guys are skinny and they're long, like marathon type physiques. They didn't test people for anabolic steroids in the sport of cycling until that happened, and then it's like, what do we do now? So does golf even need it? Vince, it's almost
not.
It's almost 2:30. I know you had to go. Hey, your
No, I'm
nephew.
good.
Oh, good. If we go a little bit late, your nephew Emiliano Vargas got an opportunity to get himself in some serious he was at the NFL Super Bowl in Santa Clara, and he got to be part of that halftime show. And then weeks later, bam, he's throwing out the first pitch at one of the World Baseball Classics.
Yes.
I'm starting to notice now that a lot of big boxers, probably we're going to see a lot more, maybe even Ryan Garcia, they're getting invited to participate in pretty cool stuff regarding other pro sports. Here's David Benavidez. He got an invite.
Phoenix.
He's getting some, love in his hometown. Phoenix Suns invited him out there.
He missed a shot, but it's all right. Who gonna tell you missed?
Hey, at least it wasn't an air ball, right? I mean, it wasn't that
reals.
bad. It could have been worse, man.
Yeah.
It could have absolutely been worse. This weekend, we got some. Here's another thing I wanted to bring up. And we were talking about the NBA. Obviously, Las Vegas is going to get their expansion team, Seattle. But we have the very first Mexican kid. His name is Karim Lopez. He is declared for the 2026 NBA draft and is projected to become the first Mexican-born first-round pick in the history of the NBA.
Beautiful.
Damn, they said Mexicans can't jump.
Hey, I think you should trademark that name. I said the Las Vegas team will be. So if they want to buy it, you can sell it to them. Ask your wife. Don't say the name because somebody goes steal it and do it. They're going to, yep, he's right. And who knows? You can sell it and boom.
Earlier, we were talking about flag football and how everybody's going crazy for people. Here's iShow Speed. I mean, I know he's one of the top streamers in the country for young people in the world. He's kind of international. He can run a 4.4.
Yeah.
But y'all got to chill, man. It's not like there's actually an NFL team calling him for an open workout. He's 5'8".
Or a baseball team.
He's 5'8", which, there are some NFL players that are 5'8", but he's 145 pounds. He's solid.
Yeah.
But there's no running back that's 145 pounds in the NFL. They'd get absolutely destroyed with that build.
Just crushed. He'll probably run into the hiker and get crushed. His own hiker, the center.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's doing all the moves with no pads. So, that's a lot of difference. And then when you got those hungry, crazy men chase you like Cosby or, it's a different story. He grabs you. Man, those big claws grab you, then slam you to the floor. You say, what the hell am I doing here?
What do you think they will name the Las Vegas NBA team? I don't know. I feel like it's gonna have. Yeah, you're gonna. I feel like it's gonna have to do something with gambling, man. Something like there's gonna be something to do with a logo with dice or something. It's got to be something like that.
Too bad we couldn't be the Heat, because it's hot out here. It'd be bad if we were the Heat, Las Vegas Heat.
Yeah,
but we can't because we got Miami Heat.
Man, that logo is going to be something else. I like listening to this guy. Here's Rich Eisner talking about what it means for Las Vegas to get all these teams. Let's listen to him really quickly.
I love it.
Honestly, think it's great for Vegas to have a sports team in every major North American sport. It's awesome. It's great. I think the draft should be there every 2 years. There should be a draft or a Super Bowl there every 4 years.
Totally agree.
I mean, the draft was insane. The Super Bowl was great.
Right.
But the draft was incredible there.
I was here for the draft, man.
Great.
They did
There's
the Bellagio
hotels everywhere.
on the water.
There's restaurants
that's
everywhere. There's entertainment everywhere.
No, that makes
in Las Vegas. They were great.
Yeah.
In terms of rolling out carpets for the draft and the Super Bowl. Unreal. The traffic on Super Bowl weekend was nuts. But
I mean, it's Vegas.
I don't know.
Yeah, and the last time I wasn't living here yet in Vegas when they had the draft, but I was here that weekend, and I remember I was filming something for somebody else's YouTube channel, And the person that I was filming went and harassed a bunch of Jacksonville. I was with my friend Johnny. Shout out to Johnny and his wife. They're Jacksonville Jaguar fans. And that's the year they drafted Trevor Lawrence. And there was a whole group of Jaguar fans. And this person walked right up to them and said, "What's it like to be the worst team in the NFL?"
Oh, hell no.
They took that one well. I got to say, they took that. What's it like being the worst team in the NFL? And they're like, "Well, we got Trevor now."
They're not really the worst. Raiders are worse than them.
It's funny because the Raiders are right now in that position. They're good. You ask a Raiders fan, "Hey, we got Fernando now. We're getting Fernando now."
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Speaking of, it's way, way, way ahead later in the year, and I pray to God that everything is much better in the world, man. But we can look forward to things in the future. But it looks like the very first international game will be Thursday. I think this is kicking off the football season for NFL. 49ers versus the Rams, and man, what a great pair of games we had against the Rams. I'm not gonna lie, man. They're a great team. They were a great team, and the Rams were in the news.
That wide receiver for the Rams?
Bro, I can't. I gotta look this up because this one was shocking.
What his name is? He bit a girl.
Yeah, I did hear about this. This is crazy.
His contract. If it's true, he ain't gonna make nothing.
Puka Nacua denies woman's claim that he made an anti-Semitic comment, but says biting her was horseplay. So he admits he bit her. This is from the LA Times. Okay. Puka Nacua's attorney denies he made an anti-Semitic comment during a New Year's Eve dinner in Los Angeles. The accuser filed for a temporary restraining order alleging that the Rams receiver bit her shoulder and her friend's thumb during the evening. The allegations come after Nacua apologized in December for performing an anti-Semitic gesture on a live stream. So if you guys remember that Puka had, what did he do, man? He was with that live streamer. I think was he with Aiden Ross? I think it was
with Neo too.
It was with those pair of streamers, and they got him to do a silly dance that was reportedly an anti-Semitic dance. Anyways, he had to apologize. The Rams were going into the playoffs. He was having an unbelievable season, and then that came out, and it made him look like an asshole, and he looked like a jerk. And now reportedly, he goes to this party on New Year's Eve. I thought he had only bitten one woman, but the woman's came out. Her name is out there now. Her name is Madison Atiabi.
Oh, poor lady.
And I guess she's Jewish faith, and she's saying that she needed to get a temporary restraining order and that he bit her on the shoulder. Well, he's a tall guy. That sounds pretty believable, but that was horseplay.
Man, I hit you in the eye. That was just horseplay. Yeah, right.
And then this girl, well, how did he get this girl's thumb in her mouth unless the girl put her thumb in his mouth?
I mean, it went like this.
After dinner, Atiabi said that she was in a car with Nacua and others. Oh, they were in the car. Okay. When the Ram star bit her on the left shoulder, leaving a substantial bite mark that was photographed. Nacua is also alleged to have bitten the thumb of Atiabi's friend so forcefully that she screamed in pain. All right. Nacua's attorney Levi MacArthur said he has spoken to the witness, including other Rams players who were there, who didn't hear Nacua make the anti-Semitic remark. He also said the bite was just innocent horseplay.
Okay.
Man, what do you guys think?
If that was my boy, I'd do the same too. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't see him bite. They're playing around. If that was my boy, But what if that was your daughter?
The thing is, he's on his rookie contract.
Yeah.
He's on his rookie contract, so he's up for a mega deal, like the kind of deal.
Maybe.
I mean, do you let it? I mean, okay. Cardi B's baby daddy, the most recent one. He's not on a team yet, right?
They don't want him. He's good, but I guess they don't want the headache.
He got released.
Because if you get to a stud and he's on your team and come on, let's go hang out. Like, oh man, that's like bring him out here to Vegas. He ain't gonna do no good out here in Vegas.
Yeah. Speaking of Vegas, and this is a perfect segue to end the show. I have a story. I have to kind of I can't say names because I don't want to potentially give up too much information about even like where I live in, in my house. But this is real estate and Raiders related story, Vince. I told you this story. So I have a neighbor that I was waving at for about a year. Monster trucks, like F-250s lifted, and he has some really cool toys, like like those all-terrain vehicles that you take hunting. Like he had those badass toys.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And he was just simply wave, and he had a wife. From what I can see, they had I think they had kids. I'm not sure. I think I swore I seen a stroller. Anyways, she always seemed to be home, and he always seemed to be away. But it was just one of those cars. We knew her name, and we simply would just wave at the husband. So I've been paying attention to the house for a while, Vince, because I like to keep my house fresh. Like I keep my house landscaped in front. I actually pay for a gardener to come out and make sure my front yard looks great. Because one time I got HOA. You guys know in Vegas, everyone has an HOA pretty much.
I don't. I hate HOA.
Yeah, I hate... I've been sued by an HOA. So they sent me the letter one time and they're like, dude, you got to keep your yard nice. So I keep my yard real nice now because I got warned. Yeah, I got sent a fine. And I've been looking at my neighbor's yard, the guy I waved to, and I'm like, me and my wife are like, damn, we ain't seen them for a while. It's been weeks. Then another week went by and we're like, where are they? And then I noticed that their blinds were all messed up in the second story, and I'm like, wow. I was like, what if somebody died in the house and nobody knows? Yeah. Like, what if they're dead and nobody even knows? Like, I started thinking the craziest things. It could happen, right? Like, oh no. And what if the news rolls up to my house and they're like, didn't you notice your neighbor? Weren't you paying attention to you haven't seen your neighbor in weeks? Like, didn't you know your neighbor was dead? So I started running all these scenarios through my head, and I'm like, well, you know what? Should I just call the HOA and be a Karen and ask, hey, what's going on with my neighbor? Because his yard is all fucked up and the windows are all messed up. Like there's stuff on the windows, and I'm just worried about him. And then I said, I can't do that. I can't be that dude. I can't be the dude that calls and snitches and be like, hey, man.
Yeah, no. You lose the stripes from California.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be a snitch. I'm not going to be a snitch. Something's going to happen. So, guys, eventually, last week, I noticed a for sale sign coming soon. And I go, well, that explains it. They're moving. They're not around. They left. A lot of people moved to Vegas, and they put up the for sale sign, and they already bought a house somewhere else. They moved. He's not there. So I'm not going to lie. We went and looked for the property records to find out who owned the house, right? Because they're going to sell it. And now I'm like, damn, now I hope they get a lot of money because that's my neighbor. I want to make sure they get a good price on their house. I looked the guy up, and lo and behold, the entire time I've been, and Vince knows this, that I got a Raiders plate. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. He said he's a 49er fan. Smoke that one over, buddy.
I have a Raiders license plate of Nevada on my car, and he would always see it, and he would wave. I looked the guy up. I've been living next door to one of the fucking Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. My neighbor is a Las Vegas Raiders.
Parties and everything, man.
Bro, this guy never called me over. Yeah, I'm like, I know he was coming home hunting something. I know he had to have some deer or something. He could give me some deer jerky or something. Anyways, I've been living next door to a Raiders this entire time for over a year. I think he's owned the house for over a year or something, maybe 2 years. And not once did we ever introduce ourselves.
That's funny. Hey, so the next time whoever lives there now, you go there and take them a pie or something.
So the house is for sale, guys, and I guess I'll never really get to talk to him because he ain't coming back. Although he might come back to get some furniture. I don't know. I've been living next to a Raider. Well, if you put everything together, you guys probably figured it out now. He's selling the house because he's no longer with the Raiders. So I'll be paying attention to see what team he's a free agent. I'll be paying attention to see what team he ends up on, and I'll be sure next season that I'll be watching one of his games because he's gonna. I think he's gonna end up on another team, but he definitely did not get re-signed, and that's why the house is for sale. So that's my story for today, guys.
Hey, that house supposed to be good. So you might get a baseball player in there or a basketball player in there.
You know what? Nah, it's not like I live in. I mean, it's a nice neighborhood, but it's not like I couldn't imagine. Yeah, a Raider bought that house and was living next to me. But it's not like I live next to Floyd.
Celebrities in there.
Yeah.
You got a lot of celebrities in there. You just don't pay attention.
Nah.
I'm gonna go with it one day. You got a gate to get in? You got a gate to get in?
Huh? See, I can't say gated or not. I can't say that on here. I'll tell you.
Close. He lives in a good he lives in a nice neighborhood, guys.
I don't live next to Floyd. I'll tell you that. I don't live next to Floyd or Sean Porter.
Hey, Floyd probably don't know where he lives either. Don't he know money?
Floyd will be fighting. And I'll leave you guys with this story too, Vince. The Pacquiao fight, April is off.
Good.
The WWE,
rat him out.
The Provodnikov fight with Manny Pacquiao is officially off for now. They may consider a June date, but I guess people talk to him and were like, look, man, this is the wrestling weekend. This is WWE WrestleMania in Las Vegas.
You can't compete with them.
You can't compete with them and ask fans to go check you out, fight in an exhibition on the same night as, the biggest wrestling event of the year.
I don't think in his heyday he could compete with WrestleMania.
So now people were saying, Manny, you were fighting, and I saw Marcos Villegas of Fight Hub today say, look, if you fight Provodnikov in June and July, you might just get hurt or bust your lip or why even bother, bro? You already got this atmosphere, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather in September. So who knows if they'll ever fight? I think Manny Pacquiao, he should just sit down and train and just relax and get ready for Floyd Mayweather.
Take care of his son.
Exactly, man. This is Slugged Out Sports with Shoeshine Boxing. Today was a great day, Wednesday. We got baseball. Make sure you guys tune in for that on Netflix. Let me know what you guys think about that, and we'll get some more content out there for you. Vince, anything you want to say?
Hopefully go to this fight. I can't wait.
All right,
if
man.
It's free, it's me.
Thanks a lot, Alex, ringside reporter, Paul Martinez, Bella Bling, and everybody that was in the chat today. Until next week, we'll see you then. Peace.
Peace out.